And welcome once again to Community Viewpoint. I'm John Pollock, your host for the segment, and with me today is Jennifer Fanning, Assistant Fire Chief for our fire troop of firemen and EMSs and the people that go out there when we, try to burn down our houses, when we have accidents and other things like that. And we're grateful for all you do for us. And today we're going to be, since it's less than 2 weeks till Christmas.
Yeah, we're getting close.
Oh my God, it's one of those Christmas programs when we talk about home safety, Christmas saving safety. And then we'll put up the graphic of what happens if you're not watching yourself at home. The Christmas tree will, there you go, fall right on top of you. And you'll shrivel up like that little elf over there. So, Jennifer, are we starting to see more fires in the home because of Christmas yet, or because of the turning on the furnaces and things like that?
I think right now a lot of what we're seeing is due to the weather, it being colder outside, people turning on their their heaters in their homes, using space heaters and things like that to keep warm for right now. We're definitely seeing a lot more of that with our weather changing.
Okay, now that being said, now as we get into the Christmas time, we're going to be having other things that we're bringing into our homes to possibly warrant more observation for fire safety.
Correct.
So like trees, we'll have not only the real trees, but the fake trees have the ability to burn and burn rather quickly. In the past, you probably didn't watch the show, I've had the burning tree on so many times, I'm not going to do that again. And then we also had William Shatner throwing a frozen turkey into a broiler for State Farm. So we saw him burn it, not him burn, but the turkey and the porch. But things like that happen because people are clumsy. We've got another flyer up here that has some tips on it. And if we go through that, excuse me, we have the outlet up on the upper left-hand corner. And they're talking about don't overload your electrical sockets. And people have a tendency to do that.
They do. A lot of times we see people using extension cords and multiple extension cords, plugging extension cords into extension cords. We need to make sure that the extension cords are good. Making sure that they're not frayed or cracked is a really big thing. The extension cord is no longer good if there's any sort of fraying to it or if it's cracked. And we just don't want to plug multiple extension cords into each other.
Or power strips also. So these are left over from last Earth Day, but they have an actual maximum amount of amps you can have in each of those. These are for 3 or 4 outlets. So one of these is you could plug things into this one, but never plug a second one into the first one.
Correct.
Because that will lead you to putting too much current through the wires and possibly cause a fire. So that's a safety hazard. They can be brand new like that, but if you add them like that, you defeat the safety of them. Another thing is smoke alarms.
Smoke alarms is a big one. We just recently went to a structure fire, and when they walked inside of it, a lot of the smoke alarms were taken down. A smoke alarm is typically only good from the manufacturer for about 10 years. They're usually stamped on the inside, the manufacture date. Mine personally in my home did not make it 10 years. We had to replace them about 8 years in. Typically when you replace them, you have to replace all of them. So we recommend changing the batteries every time that we change our clocks. So twice a year, you're going to change the batteries in them. When changing the batteries no longer works to get them to stop beeping, that's when they're no longer good and you need to replace them.
Or you can wait 22 years like I did.
Yeah.
This is the other one lasted 21 years. This is 22 years.
Wow.
I get the maximum amount of time out of that.
You do.
But I'm comfortable changing them. So I just order them. Actually, I should order 8 or 9 more and just be done with it, because the other ones are bound to go. If those started, these are going to go too. But they're almost exact replacements. There's minor revisions, but you can just type in the nomenclature for them online, and then you could find either on Amazon or the company that made them. They'll give you a duplicate, and you'll get it within a week. So if we look at that flyer again, let's also look at watering the tree. Always water your tree. Do you have any tips on that?
The watering the tree is very important. We want to make sure that the tree stays good and hydrated, especially if you have a real tree. They dry out so fast once they get cut, they'll just go up extremely quickly if anything happens. So making sure that they have water in there is definitely good. Again, with the extension cords, when you put your Christmas lights on your tree, not plugging in multiple extension cords for the lights on the tree.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's also the uses of, instead of using the candles like they did in the olden days, using battery operated candles like we have at home. It's the mystique of just having the candles flickering and stuff. I guess, well, my wife likes it more than I do, but candles are very dangerous also.
Dangerous. We see it all too often where people fall asleep at night and they leave candles burning, and that's when bad things happen. They leave the house and leave a candle burning, and bad things happen. You never want to leave a candle that's burning unattended ever.
Timers, put things on timers also. Even if you're at home, don't let the lights stay on overnight.
Correct.
And definitely if you're leaving to visit someone either over the weekend or for the evening, especially nowadays, there's more crime is on the rise too. Have timers on the outside also. Yeah. And here's another one. Try not to leave a package unattended on your porch. The front door was locked here, so there's an Amazon package. If anybody's watching behind the camera, there's a package on the front door of the KPVM. Lock your car over at Walmart or Home Depot. That's an issue also. Leaving packages in your vehicle and leaving it unattended too. Do you have any other tips?
They wanted me to also talk to you guys about routes out of the home, making sure to speak with your family members, knowing your 2 egress routes out of the house, so the front door or the back door, not having things piled in front of your egress routes, making sure that your small children, the elderly people that live in your home, everybody has a meeting spot out front of the house. So whether it's the big tree in the front yard or the mailbox, whatever it might be, just knowing the 2 egress routes out of the house and getting there safely if in the case of an emergency.
And this would be a good time of the year to check your fire extinguishers. You do have fire extinguishers, right, folks? Because I have one right above the stove. That's a special one for the kitchen. And then there's one in the hallway upstairs also. And always make sure the arrow is in the green also. And then I was taught when I worked as a contractor for DOE, you should have one in a car too. So I have one in the travel trailer, but not in the vehicle. So don't post on social media if you're traveling. Never advertise on an empty house. That's definitely, you don't want to do that, because there's people that they don't have anything else to do, but they sit and watch things like that. Place your lights on a timer. It says it appears that someone is at home. Have more than one, so they come on at different times also. So anything else are we looking at? Packaging is very flimsy and it burns easy. So if you're near a fireplace, an open fireplace, make sure there's a screen or a glass partition in front of it, and none of the packages go close to that at all. So what else should we talk about?
Space heaters
was
a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we just want to make sure with space heaters, again, that they're not being plugged into power strips, extension cords, things like that. You want to make sure with a space heater, if you're going to use one, that you give about a 3-foot perimeter around it where there's nothing else near it, and make sure that you're turning it off when it's not in use. Turning off and even unplugging it at that matter, just to make sure that there's nothing that happens. Space heaters are definitely a big thing that we're seeing right now with a lot of the incidents that are happening in the valley, just because it's getting colder. It's expensive to turn on the heater, so space heaters are a lot of times what people use.
Yes, and be careful to make sure you have the ones that if you tip them over, they will turn off. So the better ones are the ones that do not radiate, turn orange, and the oil-filled ones, they have a tendency to warm the room too.
Yeah.
And there's not that much of a fire hazard with them unless the cord is frayed.
Yeah. Yes.
So, so it's that time of the year. I would check everything that you have at home. Make sure it's able to be plugged in properly. Make sure the lights are the proper lights that you're plugging into the strings also, because they have different wattages for the lights too. And make sure your animals are taken care of also, that they can't jump into your tree and do damage to that. Anything else in our final minute?
How about when we turn our heater on, the smell?
Oh, that
emits.
Yeah, that's one I had. I turned ours on last week. You too?
Mine, I just did this week.
It will smell different because you'll have dust, because we haven't used our air conditioners for a while because the weather's been so wonderful. But when we turn it on for the heat also, especially if you have so electric heat coming on with your outside heaters, your heat pumps. If you goes to the auxiliary, you're going to have the electric heaters coming on. You'll be burning the dust off. That will be weird smelling the first time, so it better go away. If it doesn't, then you call the repair person. So thank you very much. This is our holiday tips for this year, and that's the last one until the spring. We'll have something else. So thank you, Jennifer, and you have a safe and happy holiday.
Yeah, you as well.
All right, thank you. And you too. Bye. And welcome once again to Community Viewpoint. I'm John Pollock, your host. Wait a minute.
I'm
Maria.
here too.
Oh my goodness.
I snuck in.
It's another host. The hostess with the mostest.
It's a rare occasion, but we were able to be here at the same time today, and that hasn't happened in years.
Years, yes.
I know.
And, oh wait, we have a guest.
Yeah, hi.
Hey. We have with us now Linda Wright. Linda Wright is going to be talking to us about TWV. She's a chairperson for that, and that deals with veteran issues. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, TWV stands for Together with Veterans, and it's a new committee that's being formed here in Pahrump and in Nye County, and it has to deal with veterans and veteran suicide. And we're trying to get the word out on this very, very important issue. And it's a nationwide problem in the veteran population. And the veterans have a high rate of suicide, and especially rural veterans.
I think we were almost up to one per day at
Something
one time.
like that.
Yeah.
And rural veterans have a 20% higher risk for suicide than non-rural veterans.
Really?
Do you think it's because of the wider range of resources in cities, or because they just feel more secluded? Or what have they said?
They're secluded, but they don't always know what's available to them.
Oh, that's true too, yes.
And they don't always want to be around other people. And so we have to get the word out to them. And so this group that is forming, it's spearheaded by the VA, and it comes out from back east. And we just finished an assessment. It was called SWOT, SWLT, and we had 20 people from the community came and answered questions on what they knew about suicide and
Okay.
how we can get the word out and how we can help our veterans. And so once that gets evaluated, we will be coming back to the community and letting them know how we can help as a group.
You do so much good work here in town, and I think this is a really good program that you're helping to bring here. And is there a number that people can call if they are in need of assistance or know someone in need of assistance, so that they can get going with this program?
Well, they can, if they have a veteran that's in crisis, they can always call the Veterans Crisis Line, and that's 800-273-8255, and press 1 for veterans.
That's one thing the community can do, is maybe get it out on your Facebook pages, just have it handy in case you come across somebody in need. You can get that number out and just have
Right.
everybody just keep spreading the word.
But Together with Veterans is a veteran-led community-based suicide prevention program. And the TWV teams conduct a public health action planning process to address rural veteran suicide prevention. Implementation of the action plan is ongoing and is intended to create long-term relationships between veterans and community service providers. And it deepens community awareness about veteran needs and improves services and support for veterans and their families. So what we're doing is providing programs and stuff for the veteran and their families. But we want the community to be aware of it. So we're looking to involve the whole community, from health workers to clergymen to the sheriff's department to the town board, the commissioners, everybody, and just normal people like you and me.
Well, you got to sit down for public comment in the mornings at 10 o'clock when they have the meetings and
Yes,
talk to them about. You haven't done that yet.
we have been to their meetings, yes.
Ah, good for you.
Yes.
We're
Our-
certainly glad to help you here, and you're welcome back anytime, of
Well,
course.
thank you. I'd like to come back.
So, and you're also here for something else, and that's
Yeah.
that is the community Christmas dinner, which is an annual event, and you were on board for the Thanksgiving dinner too.
The Thanksgiving dinner.
So before we hit the Christmas dinner, how did the Thanksgiving one go?
It went very well. We did over 700 meals to the
wow.
community.
Okay.
And we had people coming constantly throughout the day, the morning from 11
That's
to
awesome.
2. And we had a lot of community volunteers, which I am so thankful for. And I can't thank the community enough for their contributions to the dinners and for their help to put it on. And this for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, we had a brand new musical duo called J&D musical group, and they volunteered their time, and they're coming back for Christmas.
I heard about them. Yeah,
What
I
did
heard
they
it
play?
went really well.
They played all genres of music, and
What's involved with that? Guitar, drums,
they had
piano?
a keyboard and guitar,
Okay.
and they come and set up all their equipment, and they had people singing to the music.
That's awesome.
And they had people dancing in the aisles, and it was so much fun. And
That's cool.
everybody was asking if they were coming back, and yes, they are.
Oh, good.
That's awesome. This is in collaboration with the community, Nye Communities Coalition?
They let us have the meals there, but it's totally put on by the Pahrump Holiday Task Force. We are our own organization now.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
That's great. Anybody you want to thank on collaborating? Do you have sponsors or?
Well, I want to thank my whole team because they've been working really hard, the whole task force. I don't know if you've noticed around town, but we do have sandwich boards out already with our Christmas signs out.
That's
And
awesome.
that's something new for this year. We had them, we put them out for last year, but this year we actually have nice sounds and signs, and we got them. This year they were done by Quality Signs, and so we want to
Oh,
say
okay.
thank you to Quality Signs. They did an awesome job, and just Valley Electric's been very good. P-Town Air has been very good, helping with the donations, and
That's awesome.
we, for Thanksgiving and also for Christmas, we did a advertising on our placemats for donations.
Oh,
And-
yeah,
Oh,
you were
that's
talking
cool.
about that,
And we want to thank the community for coming out and supporting us that way for our meals.
That's
Instead of
awesome.
us just going and saying, would you like to donate? We're helping our neighbors in the Pahrump business community, the smaller business, by putting their cards on it. And they help us by donating money.
That's awesome.
And Saddle West has been a great donor. They, both Thanksgiving and now Christmas, they're donating pies
Oh, that's so cool.
for it. So we want to put a big shout out to them too.
So if we could find the flyer, we'll put the flyer up there for you while we're speaking about. There you go. There's the flyer.
And the email, I noticed the email address is on the bottom if somebody wants to donate or buy an advertisement or donate an an advertisement.
Or volunteer their time.
Yeah.
Because we could surely use their time on Christmas Eve.
I heard so many good things about the Thanksgiving dinner.
So that's
and
when it's
everybody
going to
really
be.
enjoyed it.
Yes,
December
it's-
24th.
It's December 24th, Christmas
December
Eve.
24th.
From 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And it's at the Nye Communities Coalition Activity Center, the big room, at 1020 East Wilson Road, right behind Walmart. And we're looking forward to it.
So you're going to have, I know you're going to have food. What kind of food are you going to have there?
We're having ham,
Okay.
sweet potatoes, vegetables,
Pie.
cornbread.
Pie
We're
you're
having,
having.
actually,
And
we're having
pie.
cornbread and pie. Instead of having rolls, we're having cornbread
That's cool.
to go with the ham as a change.
cool.
And Santa will be there.
Oh, excellent.
Really? That's
Yes.
cool.
Santa always makes his appearance for us.
That's awesome.
So this is Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, and 4th of July are our main our 4 events that we do now. We cover all 4 holidays.
So Easter,
Easter will be in the park at
Right.
Petrick Park,
Patrick.
and 4th of July is the parade,
Yeah, I know.
and at
Yeah, I know.
Calvada Eye.
Yeah, you always hit me up for that one. Yeah.
Yes, John
Yes, she
helps us
finds
with
me
the
for that
parade.
one, yeah.
He helps us organize
Nice.
the lineup at the parade. And we're working on some surprises for the parade. We're already working on the parade.
Okay. Well, that's good that you started
You're
early
in for
on that.
surprises.
Yes.
So is there anything else we could look forward to if we're going to the Christmas dinner?
We will have coats and
That's what I'm getting
blankets
at, yes, yeah.
for those that need it.
Yes.
Okay. And if somebody wants to donate coats or blankets between now and then, where would they bring
We
them?
have them at the banks. There's collection
Okay,
boxes
that's
at the bank.
Oh, did you?
Great.
Okay.
That's
Which
great.
banks are those?
Nevada State Bank, Bank of America, I think American First, and Community, I believe, is the 4 that they went out to.
Okay, good.
All right. So if you have some coats or blankets, get them in those bank boxes.
Yes, so that we can get them back and get them cleaned in time for Christmas Eve.
Were there going to be
awesome.
any veterans?
Yes, we have we have a whole section set up specifically for our veterans, and they get served. They get they're well taken care of.
That's awesome. You do
So-
such good work here.
I try.
If somebody wants to get involved in helping, like be a regular volunteer or helping out, can they email you or call
Yes,
you?
just email us at the Pahrump Holiday Task Force at gmail.com, and we will get back to you.
That's awesome.
All right, so thank you very much for all you do. Remember, it's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Don't get there late because in the past, sometimes we've run out of things because I've been there for some of those dinners. And then you get twice as much in beans or something.
No beans. That's the
But anyway, get there early and stay late and socialize with the folks.
and have a good time
Yes,
And sing along with the band.
and sing along with the band and see Santa Claus.
yes. Oh, I want to thank you, Linda, once again for all you do. And then Maria, well, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for
And-
having me, and
And
we both want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
And we will see you in the coming weeks, and we'll see you next year. All right, thank you, Linda.
Merry
Thank you,
Christmas,
Maria.
Merry
everyone.
Christmas.
Maria.